So in this video, I'm gonna give you my recommendations on where to grab drinks near the World Trade Center in Manhattan. So sometimes you just wanna grab like a casual drink, but you just like can't figure out where to go. So even though I make these videos, that still happens to me sometimes. I just like can't think of anything, especially if it's like a neighborhood that I don't spend a lot of time in. And the good thing this video is I do spend a lot of time in this neighborhood because I live right near the World Trade Center. Now, some of these recommendations are gonna be a little bit fancier than others, but I will break that down in this video. My first recommendation on this list is going to be Italy. You might recognize Italy because, for one, Italy's are in other cities around the world, but there's also another location, which is like the flagship location in New York City, that's in the Flatiron district in Manhattan. So this is gonna be the downtown location we're talking about here because it's right outside of the World Trade Center. And I do have to say, I do love the downtown Italy. Now, I think that there's nothing like the original location in the Flatiron, but at the same time, I feel like this location is basically underestimated because there's a lot less tourist traffic here. So I think you can kind of enjoy your experience a little bit more in this Italy compared to the Flatiron district. So drink-wise, there's definitely something for everyone here. Now, of course, it's Italy. So if you're a wine person, you're definitely gonna wanna enjoy a glass of wine here. If you don't know which wine to get or like you're looking for recommendations, I feel like most of the people who work there are very, very knowledgeable and can give you some really good recommendations based off like your palate and what you like. Altogether, in this location of Italy, they have 3 restaurants and 4 bars. So one of them is just like a bar in the middle of the entire like store. But it's kind of cool. Like, I feel like there's always a pretty good vibe at Italy. So out of the 3 other restaurants too, 2 of them are pretty busy all the time. And then one of them definitely has a little bit more of like an intimate feel. So depending on where you want to go, there's something literally here for everyone. My next place on the list is going to be called Anasa Taverna. And this is a very, very trendy Greek restaurant. Now, something to note is that they do also have another location. I believe it's in Midtown East and in Astoria. So you might recognize the name from 2 of those other locations. So this location specifically is very, very, very big. And they have a very large bar there. So I do think it's a really good place to grab a drink near the World Trade Center. I would say that drinks here are going to be your average West Side cocktail price. They're definitely not going to be cheap, but they're going to be your standard price that you're paying pretty much anywhere on the West Side in Lower Manhattan. Now, something to note, I know we're talking about drinking here. The food is amazing at this restaurant. Absolutely amazing. You might want to get like an appetizer or 2 just because it's that good, but the drinks here are very, very good as well. So in the summer, they have outside seating as well. And this restaurant is technically in Battery Park City, even though it's right near the World Trade Center. So eating outside in Battery Park City is so nice in the like warmer months because the streets are very, very clean here. And we'll put a picture of like some of the outside dining as well so you can see what I'm talking about. And there's not a lot of traffic that goes by. So it's just like very relaxing to dine or drink outside in Battery Park City. So you can do that here in the warmer months. So it's a very authentic Greek restaurant. So I would say their drinks tend to be a little bit more like fun, summery, sweeter because like that's definitely more like Greek style. So just keep that in mind as well, but I'm sure you can order the classics here as well. So my next recommendation on this list is going to be Liberty Bistro. Now this is also in the Battery Park City neighborhood, but still right near the World Trade Center. Now I love Liberty Bistro. It's very, very well known as being like one of the go-to outdoor dining spots in Manhattan. And that's because it's looking over the waterfront. So even if you're just going to get a casual drink, you can get a waterfront view. And it's so nice. I love doing that there. Now keep in mind, this location does get very, very busy, especially in the warmer months. So it's going to be a little bit hard to just walk in, to be honest, even though it is a very large restaurant. Now in the colder months, I do have to say it's still a great place to go to because their inside interior is very, very nice as well. It's just that they're like very known for being like a go-to summer spot. So honestly, I would suggest stopping by for a drink during all times of the year. So my 4th recommendation in this video is going to be a bar called Treadwell. Now Treadwell also has a location in Midtown East as well. This recommendation is my more casual recommendation out of all of them. And this is definitely like a sports bar vibe. Now I would definitely say more upscale sports bar, but at the same time, it's kind of like a family-friendly bar as well. You actually might see families and kids in Treadwell because the neighborhood that this bar is in is very family-friendly, I would say. And it's not just for drinking. It really is kind of like a restaurant for everyone. So I do recommend it if you're looking to get a casual beer. They do have cocktails here. However, they're not going to be the trendy, like upscale cocktails that you're seeing in some of these other locations that I mentioned, but they do have them there and they're good. I definitely wouldn't recommend Treadwell for wine drinkers by any means, but they do have a basic wine list. So I do say that this is kind of like a beer bar because it's kind of like a place where you just like grab a drink and watch a game. Now, I know that's a weird recommendation from me because like I'm not a sports person. Like clearly I'm not sitting there and watching a game, but my husband does that all the time. So those are some places where you can grab a drink near the World Trade Center. Now, I would love to hear from you guys. Do you guys have a go-to spot near the World Trade Center that you always go to? So I'm always looking for good recommendations. And as always, I love hearing from you guys.